Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video and share it to your friends and your loved ones. My name is Opsy. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. I have gotten tons of requests on fragrances for men. I feel like a lot of people feel like I always, focus my fragrances for women. And I just want to give a disclaimer here that most of the fragrances I talk about on my channel are actually unisex fragrances, meaning that both men and women can actually wear these fragrances. But for the purpose of this video and to just satisfy the male audience, I'm gonna be talking about the top oud fragrances for men. And my recommendations here once again are also unisex fragrances, but for the purpose of this video I'm gonna be focusing on men. Like, these are the kind of oud fragrances I would want my man or a man to smell like. Without further ado, let's get right into the video, guys. So the first fragrance I'm gonna be showing you guys is this one here called OUD for Glory. This is a dupe for the OUD for Greatness. So because I do not have a full bottle of the OUD for Greatness, I actually have a sample of the OUD for Greatness. I have gone through tons of samples on this fragrance and I love this fragrance a lot. It's very beautiful. Notes of oud, saffron, vanilla, musk. It's such a sexy fragrance, you guys. The hype has been there for a very long time. If you don't know OUD for Greatness, like, I feel like you're sleeping on a bicycle, But yeah, the OUD for Greatness fragrance is actually very expensive. I mean, it's by Initio, OUD for Greatness by Initio. If I did not mention earlier, it's quite expensive, but if you don't want to break the bank and you want to still smell very sophisticated, very sexy and put together, OUD for Glory is a dupe and it's by Parfums and it smells amazing. They smell very almost identical, if I do say so myself. It's very long lasting, it projects, it's such a gorgeous scent. I feel like a man can use this as an everyday fragrance because it's not so strong, yet it's prominent and projects and long lasting. A huge compliment grabber as well. It gives me a very fresh, spicy, sexy vibe. It's such a sexy fragrance, you guys, and I think that this would actually do very well on men. If you've never tried oud before in your entire life and you're trying to actually step into the oud type of fragrances, I would recommend you to actually start with the OUD for Greatness fragrance. And I think it also has some kind of similarities with the Haute from Parfums de Mali. That is another very sexy fragrance in my opinion. I always recommend that fragrance to any guy that would ask me for my opinion. I feel like that fragrance is such a gorgeous fragrance. Smells very expensive, smells like you have money in the bank, which you actually do because the fragrance is quite pricey. Back to the main point here is OUD for Glory is actually a very nice startup fragrance. It's not expensive, it's like about $30. They have probably increased the price, but I don't know, I think I got it for about $30 from Amazon. But if you want to actually stick to the real thing, then I would suggest that you actually go for OUD for Greatness. It is a gorgeous fragrance. There has been no time that I wear this fragrance that I don't get compliments. It's so gorgeous, you guys. The next one on my list here is Oud Tobacco from Montale, Paris. You guys, this is for the men that want to take it up a notch, for the men that want to step it up a bit, that want to feel exclusive, that want to feel very different from the crowd. By the way, I hope you guys are dressing nice because I don't want you guys to be smelling this expensive and you don't have style and you're not dressing nice. You guys need to actually walk the talk. You have to look the part. And your fragrances tells a lot about you. Oud Tobacco is such a spicy, citrusy, sweet fragrance that is such an amazing scent on men. I cannot emphasize how this performs. It is so long lasting. I mean, you already know that Montale fragrances don't fail on their fragrances. They are very long lasting, they project, and they are quite affordable as well. If you don't want to buy the 100 ml, you can go for the 50 ml. It is such a stunning fragrance. Has notes of cumin, has citruses in there, has labdanum in there, such a lot of spices. Oud, of course, a bit of leather if I'm not mistaken. So many gorgeous notes in there that are very wild. It is a bit fresh, it is spicy. The cumin makes it so spicy, and there's one note that is there that I do not know what it really does. If I actually, it's called sumac, I'm not really sure. This is a 10 over 10 compliment getter. People are gonna smell you. If you spray it on your clothes, it's gonna last on you for 24 hours till the next day. Like, probably if you wash your clothes, you probably smell it on you. It's very strong. It's like spicy sweet. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, check out this one, Oud Tobacco. Still keeping it in the house of Montale, I have Oud Dream here. This is my baby. This was the first fragrance I got from the house of This was the first fragrance I got from the house of Montale. It has notes of patchouli, has notes of rose and oud. I feel like there are very few notes in this one, I think. So patchouli, rose and oud are like the main notes in this fragrance. Very spicy, very sexy. Again, I think I've mentioned in my previous videos that it does smell like the Penhaligon's Halfeti leather. It is such a gorgeous fragrance. The rose, I feel, is a bit prominent. I think this will perform very well on guys because for me, I prefer guys to smell a bit sweet, not so strong. So I don't like my men smelling like straight up like leather, straight up like oud. Like I think I like a bit of balance. So like oud and leather and something sweet like vanilla, like rose, you know, something that will balance it, like amber. This one does not even disappoint when it comes to like the longevity and the projection. People will smell you from a distance. And you know, these fragrances are very good for night out. I would also recommend that you use the Oud for Greatness or the Oud for Glory like as an everyday fragrance because I feel like it is more suitable. Whereas these ones can be a bit too strong for the nose. Not everybody might like it when it comes to a very like professional environment or when it comes to just like everyday running errands kind of vibe. But when it comes to night out, date night fragrances, I would recommend this one for sure. Oud Tobacco or Montale Oud Dream. Now the next one here, which I would also recommend, of course, is Jo Malone's Velvet Rose and Oud. Now a lot of people might feel like this leans a bit more feminine. In my opinion, nope. This is a good unisex fragrance. Yes, there's rose in here, but it is perfect. There's oud in here. It is gorgeous. When you spray it on your skin, it might start off a bit fresh and very kind of way that you might not actually like, but let it dry down. You guys, give it some time to dry down on your skin, and I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I don't think that this is very strong as the Montale fragrance. You cannot compare Montale fragrances and Jo Malone fragrances. They are two separate houses and they do two separate kinds of fragrances, so you can't really compare both of them. Velvet Rose and Oud is the cologne intense, meaning that it does last longer than the normal fragrances that they make in the white or transparent bottles. This is more long lasting. This projects more. This is much more sexy. Velvet Rose and Oud smells a bit similar to the Oud Satin Mode, only that this, I feel, is more crowd pleasing. People would probably love this more than the Oud Satin Mode because I feel like the Oud Satin Mode is very prominent on Turkish Rose, and Oud, of course, is very different, but then there's that similarity because of the rose and oud in there. But the Velvet Rose and Oud, I'm telling you, is such a gorgeous fragrance. It's very beautiful, long lasting as well, but I would not say it's a beast mode fragrance. If you're going to be in close proximity with people, they're definitely going to smell this fragrance and probably give you a compliment because that's just what this fragrance does. It's just because a fragrance has rose, vanilla, musk or tonka bean doesn't mean that you shouldn't wear it, like, or doesn't mean that it's for women. You should actually try to explore more of these fragrances because I feel like they even perform better on men than women. I love anything that is strong and spicy. That's just me. But on men, I feel like they should wear things that are a bit more sweet and calm. A bit of oud here and there, but then it should be a balanced fragrance that has like all these extra sweet notes just to give it an all-round balanced fragrance. The last fragrance on my list, which I always recommend to my men, is Grand Soir. Now this is the one of the 11 ml bottle because it comes in like a pack of 3. This is a travel size, and Grand Soir is just that girl. Like, Grand Soir is Grand Soir. I don't think there's any fragrance that can actually beat Grand Soir. No, it's a very sexy amber vanilla fragrance, very sultry, very warm, very cozy. If it's left to me, I would say that there's like rum or something boozy in here, or maybe benzoin. I think there's benzoin in here, I can't remember, but it gives me that vibe of something boozy. You know me, I love like my fragrances to have like rum in them. I love them to have cognac in them. I love them to have anything boozy, absinthe, because it just gives the fragrance a different vibe. It makes it smell very sexy, very cozy, and Grand Soir is one of them. It's just a gorgeous fragrance. You guys, I think that every man should actually have this fragrance in their collection. I don't even care if you love it. It is a staple. It's a fragrance that would actually make you stand out. It's a fragrance that's going to make you smell like a king. It's a fragrance that is going to make women want you. Pardon me, but I really love this fragrance. If I should smell this fragrance on a guy and you come close to me, guys, I don't think it has oud in here, but I still recommend because it smells very expensive. You know, like most of these fragrances, for instance, in the designer range, like all the Chanel, Bleu de Chanel, the Armani's, the Dior Homme Intense, and all these other fragrances, they kind of smell alike. Like they have the same DNA, they have the same vibe, which is why I don't usually recommend this kind of fragrances to them, because I feel like a lot of them smell the same way. Like it's very typical for a guy. Dior Homme Intense is such a beautiful fragrance, but I feel most of the designer fragrances like the Bleu de Chanel, the Valentino, Bonne Roma, all these fragrances, they kind of have the same DNA, probably the same kind of notes in them. So I can't really even tell some of them apart because they smell a bit similar. Check out Grand Soir because I feel like this is one fragrance that shouldn't even go out of market. For a bit now, it has been scarce. If I did not mention, Grand Soir is by MFK. MFK, please, I want to plead with you guys, do not discontinue this fragrance. I beg of you. A lot of people talk about this fragrance as well. So I'll definitely recommend this one for men. I think it's a sexy date night fragrance. It's so gorgeous. Also a perfect night out fragrance as well. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my recommendations here. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and of course don't forget to share it to your friends and your loved ones. Follow me on Instagram. My name is Opsi_P, and I'm going to see you in my next one.